So in the third, Steve Kerr got a tech.
In the third quarter alone.
That was ridiculous.
In the third quarter alone.
I'll defend him.
In the third quarter alone, there were 7 technical fouls called. 7 techs in the third quarter. Started with that Draymond Green and Steve Kerr tech with 10:18 left in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Then a couple minutes later, CP3 gets a tech. Chris Paul, 7:53 left in the third quarter. Then DeAndre Ayton gets a technical at 7:24 mark. And then that's when we get Klay Thompson and everything going on with that. So let's hear from Steve Kerr about the technicals.
It's a different game, and I've been involved in so many games where there's a bunch of technicals where guys are unhappy or guys are, kind of losing control, including the coach. And so it happens.
I didn't even think Steve Kerr lost his mind. He was defending his guy.
He was defending his guy. It was a foul.
How many times have I been critical of Draymond Green getting a tech?
Yeah,
I will defend him. Yeah. He was in the right last night, and I didn't even think what he said or what he did warranted a technical. And then they called an and one on Wiggins, which there was. They were both fouls. That's the thing. To me, they were both fouls, and they called Wiggins on a little hip check on what's the guy? Not Cam Bridges. Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
Like a little and one, and he gets it up and under. And I'm thinking to myself, this is where players lose their mind because of the inconsistency on consecutive possessions.
I told you, basketball referees are the all-time worst. Tim Donaghy doc proved it. NBA refs are the all-time worst.
Did you know that Steiny said he's not going to watch that doc? He has no interest, because I was listening to the changeover yesterday. He says he has no interest in watching the doc, and I'm saying to myself, it's not about Donaghy. You need to watch that doc to understand.
Well, you know why? Because most of those refs are from around his hometown in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
It's like they grow up to be referees. And Steiny's dad was a referee. And Dan Dibley's a referee.
Is that the equivalent of growing up to want to be a meter maid?
Probably. The meter maids alone.
Well, because they're day ruiners.
But I've said this forever on 95.7 The Game. Who the hell grows up to want to be a referee? Imagine wanting to be the referee.
Well, when I do ref, I do take a lot of
whistle
pride.
And call fouls and take the fun out of the game.
No, I think that there is an art to it. No, and I do believe the good referees. Yeah, there is, because good referees, when you coach and when you play, when you have the good ref. Like, for example, we have a guy in softball who refs at Moscone or umpires at Moscone exclusively, and this guy is one of the best because he's loud, he's authoritative. He doesn't get every call right, but he'll come over and be like, "Hey guys, I might have missed that one. My bad." Like he's a great umpire.
I got buddies as refs. I became close to a lot of referees, especially at the JUCO level. I still don't get why you want to be a ref. I still don't get it.
Because they love the game.
I still don't get it.
I'll take up for
him. Yeah, well, how are you going to cape up for him after just ripping them?
No, because there are certain ones that are egotistical.
You can't do that.
There are good and bad ones.
No. You can't flip-flop just that
there's
quickly.
good and bad radio hosts and good and bad everything. Good and bad lawyers.
There's a lot of bad referees. There's a lot of bad, but I don't get why you want to be a referee when people are cursing at you left and right. Players are cursing at you left and right.
Ed Malloy wants the spotlight. He lives for it. He lives for the camera zooming in on him,
Steiny won't watch that doc?
To someone.
Steiny won't watch that doc?
No. But again, you see
I hear from players. I talk to Festus, talk to Bully,
what they
talk
say.
to D. Wright. Come on, man. Referees are a joke.
Yeah, but what did they say about that doc? Because I'm watching that game last night, and I'm saying to myself, the referees lost control of that game.
Well, Mully told me about the Pacers-Knicks game. Remember when Grandma Ma hit the 4-point play?
Larry Johnson, number 2.
Apparently, I forget the name of the Indiana Pacers assistant coach at the time.
Oh.
He was going at it with the ref, whose name I forgot to. But Mully said they were going at it all game.
Okay.
And so when Grandma Ma hit the 4-point play, hit the 3 that was barely a foul.
Yes.
The referee looked at that assistant coach.
No, he did not.
And said, "And one."
No, he didn't.
And looked at him and flexed on him.
That's gangster.
Yeah, you don't tell me they don't take things personal.
Was he calling Donaghy at halftime, letting him know, I'm about to hit this and one?
Probably. You see how they did Iverson?
And
Screw the referees,
and
man.
Scott Foster,
I'm sorry.
You know who the homie is? Ed Malloy.
Screw these refs.
Ed Malloy!
So ring night, after a while, we all watch the Donaghy doc.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there in the tunnel, and it's the same tunnel the referees go through and come out of.
Yeah.
And Tony Brothers is just waiting there. And I look
Catfish?
back. Catfish. And I'm like, there's Catfish. That crook. That dirty freaking crook. I mean, come on, man. These dudes, these referees. So yesterday, to my point, we had a free-flowing game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Warriors are getting cooked defensively. We're going to get into it all.
It's October.
It's 4th game of the season.
It's October 26th of 2022.
I don't need them ramping up defensively right now. It's all good.
The parade was July 1st or whatever.
Yeah,
come on, everyone. Take a deep breath.
It's all good. It's literally 4 months ago. But the referees went in that game in the third quarter And they changed the tenor of the game.
Well, and I would...
And it's not about them. It's about the fans. It's about the viewers.
Will you give me this? If you put the referees to the side, I thought the difference in this game, Phoenix in the third quarter played much more locked-in individual defense on the perimeter, which denied dribble drive penetration. They were rotating better. They were communicating better. Their half-court defense was stellar in that third quarter.
It was, but especially once Klay got ejected.
Absolutely
Klay gets ejected with 6:31 left.
Absolutely.
And the Suns immediately go on a 22-9 run.
Have you ever seen him get so discombobulated with another player?
Zach Collins, maybe. Remember Zach Collins before the All-Star break?
That's right.
2018-19?
But I don't remember him going down the court like he was going at it.
And Steve Kerr touched on this, and I thought about this too. Klay Thompson, his minutes restriction has been a problem.
Okay.
He's not where he wants to be. He's struggling to start the season. He was 1 of 8 yesterday and 0 for 5 from the three-point line, missing wide open looks. He made a couple plays defensively. Defensively, I think he's where he needs to be. He could get a little better on that end. But
Book's a tough guard.
Book's a tough guard, but he made some plays. And I think he just got frustrated. And once Book started talking, he's like, you know what? Screw you. I've got 4 rings.
But it didn't look like Book was continuing to chatter, and Klay was. I mean, again, it was tough to see with the angle because his cheek was turned.
Right.
But it didn't feel like Book kept on enticing him. It felt like whatever he said, Klay was just unhinged.
Oh, yeah, he was unhinged. He was unhinged.
I don't want to get all like psychological here, but maybe he said something that triggered him. Maybe his performance. Maybe it was a combination of all those things. I've just never seen Klay react that way.
Clay's like, I'm not where I need to be, and I'm frustrated right now. And now this guy's talking, so I'm gonna keep chirping. And so for him to walk off the court and show him the rings, look, that was gangster. That was gangster.
Well, and that's just because the studio gangsters of the the Phoenix Suns. I've never won anything outside of Damian Lee's Suns.
You want to hear DeAndre Ayton?
Oh, this guy.
Listen to this guy.
DeAndre Ayton, 100% was on HGH at 14 years old. The guy looks 40.
Listen to this guy talking about physicality.
Teams don't like that when you keep hitting people over and over, especially to the legal limit. People get frustrated and they complain to us, and the game got a little junky, but we stayed here, and I was really proud of that. That shows a lot of growth, because last year I think we would have kept going back and forth throughout that game right there. That was one of those games where them dudes wanted us to go back and forth with baskets, and they'll end up taking over the game later in the long stretch. So we definitely put them away.
Here's more Aiden. Oh.
I mean, I know we picked up some fouls, some technicals, even I did, but it was mainly just, we're getting beaten up. I just peeped that, although it's an emotional game at the same time, we still got back to playing Suns basketball. Forgot about, calls didn't go, we didn't care, and we made it our game in a way. We made it our game, and we closed it out the right way. Couldn't close it no better.
So DeAndre Ayton, spokesman of the Phoenix Suns, now talking about physicality and playing to the legal limit.
Was he lifting while he was doing this interview?
Winners work.
Winners work.
Winners work.
I love that the Suns have won the Super Bowl. I love that their finals literally was last night. I love it. No, I legitimately love it. I want more of these kind of rivalry type moments in the NBA.
Yeah,
but I want them for the Warriors specifically.
We got more sound.
My favorite part about all this, they're the ones who didn't hold up their end of the bargain last year. And they're looking at the Warriors like, you took what was ours. Dog, you lost to a garbage Dallas Mavericks team.
We were waiting on you.
I mean, it was on you guys.
We were waiting on the Suns.
Oh, we got COVID.
We're waiting on them. They didn't make it. So here we are. We've got to use these regular season matchups to gauge the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors.
They're the superchargers of the 90s and the 2000s with Marty Schottenheimer. 15-1, bow out in the playoffs.
14-2.
There you go, 14-2.
Hey, don't say that around Lorenzo Neal.
Chris Paul plays the role of LaDainian Tomlinson with the helmet on the head, visor, just staring off into the abyss in crunch time.
LT had a torn ACL, man. Why you getting on my guy, Hall of Famer?
I'll take LT
taking shots at everybody.
I'm just saying.
Except the referees.
Well, the
I saw something on YouTube. They said,
No.
growing up to want to be a referee is like growing up to want to be a snitch.
A stool pigeon. Singing.